Instagram friends, happy Saturday. So I am going to deviate a little bit from my normal Instagram posts. And here's the thing that I want you guys to remember is that we are all complex human beings, and that just because we have one thing that we typically talk about on our feeds doesn't mean that we can't embrace other things. Like, I know people talk about, stay true to your brand, stay on point, and all those things. But you know what? We're humans with lots of complex things in their lives. And I am an advocate for Black lives. Why? Well, A, we all should. But B, because I have a beautiful Black daughter who is 13 years old. And I did a lot of advocacy work last year, and I haven't done as much as I should since then. I've done a little bit here and there, but today something happened, and it was basically God was just saying, hey, you need to start doing some more work. You need to start sharing more. And I promised on Facebook that I wouldn't get emotional. So because I know it makes people uncomfortable. I believe that emotion is a good thing. I believe it's a healthy thing. And I believe that more people should show emotion, right? And I wish women would stop apologizing for their emotions. But we live in a broken, sinful world. And so women and men are marginalized for their emotions, and it makes us uncomfortable. But here's the truth of it, is that, we don't understand white privilege, and we don't understand prejudice, and we don't understand racism until we start looking at it, and we start hearing stories, and we start listening, and we start seeing. We are all created by the creator of the universe. We are created to be complex, interconnected, loving, and caring. That's what we were created to be. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone is. Yes, I know that there is an extremely sinful world, a very sinful, broken world out there. I know that there is. But we are all meant to advocate, to stand up for injustice. That's the way we were created. We were created to stand in the gap. And today, my beautiful 13-year-old Black daughter texted me and said, hey, Mom, what do I do if somebody thinks I'm stealing? She was in the Target with her father, not my father. I don't have one on this planet, but that's okay. And she said, what do I do? And, I wouldn't even think to have this conversation with my sons. That's white privilege. We adopted our beautiful baby girl a day after she was born, and we read all the books, and we thought we knew all the things, but we didn't. I didn't understand systemic racism. I didn't understand my privilege. I didn't understand my prejudice, the ingrained thoughts, deeply ingrained thoughts that I had. And this may make you uncomfortable. You may not want to continue to watch, but I encourage you to just hang with me for a minute and just think about it for a second. A 13-year-old should be able to have her father or mother sit at the Starbucks, drink a coffee while she goes and picks out a present for her friends for their birthday, and bring it over and say, Daddy, this is the present that I have for my friend. Let's go check out. She should be able to do that without worrying. That's the problem. That's the problem. Is that she should be able to do that. And I should not have to worry about her and wonder the whole time while she's gone if she's okay or what's happening or who's saying what to her. That's the difference. And so I encourage you, the biggest, most wonderful gift we can give to another human being is to see them. To see them as a complex, beautiful, created person with many, many different parts of their personality, likes and dislikes, to hold space for people, to see them, to get to know them. And I know we are ingrained to judge and consider motives and to think about preconceived motives and things like that. But I want to encourage and challenge all of us to a higher standard, to check ourselves when a prejudicial thought comes up, to really analyze it, to stand in the gap and call other people out when they have a prejudicial thought or they make a joke. Right? And so this mama is asking that we all link arms together and we share each other's stories and we share Black lives, their struggles, to support them, to stand in the gap, to ask them, how can I support you this month, this week, today? To choose to friend more people that don't look like you or sound like you or come from where you come from. And I know that's hard for some people, especially if you were raised in a place where there was no diversity. We have diversity here outside of Baltimore, and yet there's still so much racism here. And we had a little girl say to my daughter, if you don't do so-and-so, I'm going to call you the N-word. She knew the power that that word had over my daughter. And of course, that child is no longer allowed anywhere near our home, but she lives in our neighborhood. She lives across the street. And healthy boundaries, we don't allow that person anywhere near our daughter anymore, but it's right outside our door. Literally. Yes, I wish I could move. I can't right now. But I didn't keep this short. I meant to. But it's my mama heart. It's my mama heart to change this world. And so I hope you'll be a change maker with me. And if you resonate with what I say, or if you have questions, I would love to talk with you in the DMs. And if you have a family like mine, I'd love to interview you on my podcast or go live with you on IG or share a room with you on Clubhouse, because we aren't just one thing. I'm not just a business coach, a social selling expert. I'm not just a Christian life coach. I'm not just a mom. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just anything. I'm a beautiful mosaic of so many things, and so is everybody else. So are you. You are worthy of every good thing. But God calls us to something greater. He calls us to transform our hearts and our minds every day. He calls us to advocate for those who have no voice. He calls us to a beautiful, blessed life in Him. Thank you for sharing time with me.